Hi there and welcome to another circuits workout utilizing the rowing machine and off the rowing machine moves. Now today's workout is going to use 4 moves that are all body weight based, okay? You're not going to need a kettlebell, but if you want to incorporate some kind of kettlebell moves yourself, if you don't like what I'm doing, please do. But these are the 4 moves that I'm going to suggest today. Now I'm going to describe them to you during the warm-up and then I will show a quick video of me doing each of them so that you know what they are, so there's no kind of confusion about it, all right? So our warm-up is going to be 4 minutes long, and what we're going to do is a rowing warm-up which incorporates the drills, the kind of single leg drills and the arms only and legs only stuff, just to make sure that we're nicely kind of moving ready for today's session, all right? So let's get straight into setting up the machine. Now on a concept 2, that means setting your drag factor first. If you're not on a concept 2, then please just set the resistance so you get a good feeling from the stroke, but you don't have to heave against it in order to get the machine moving. Next up, if you can, set your monitor at eye height so you don't have to look up and you don't have to look down. And finally, those foot stretchers, set them to a height where you're able to come into the front of the machine with your shins in a vertical position comfortably, okay? If you're set too high, you might not quite be able to get there. If you're set too low, you might go scooting straight past there, which can cause power leaks and potential hyperextension of your lower back, all right? Now, you may have noticed I'm in shoes today, so that means that I've had to drop 1 notch from my normal from when I'm in socks. So what you do is you vary depending on how you're feeling, how your flexibility is. So kind of, yeah, so it's an idea to kind of move it from time to time. Of course, how my transitions are going to be today is going to be a bit interesting. So 4-minute warm-up, we're going to start this at a little bit of light rowing for around about a minute, and then we're going to increase the intensity, and then we're going to do 2 minutes worth of drills, and then all will be good, all right? Here we go then. In 3, 2, 1. Let's start the warm-up. A nice light intensity, 18 strokes a minute-ish. And just pushing with the legs, or pushing with the feet, to get the power in there. And try to think about connecting your hands to the handle, and the handle to whatever makes your machine move, at the same time. So you push and connect at the same time. And that's how the power floods up from your legs into the machine. If you don't get that connection right, and say your backside escapes from you before your hands connect to the handle, you're just going to lose a lot of power. So try and get that push and connection. Now you can start to increase pace a little bit if you wish. Get up to around about 2k plus 20 if you have a 2k training pace. In today's workout then, we are going to do 30 seconds of rowing, nice and fast. Then we're going to do 30 seconds of press-ups, 30-second row, 30 seconds of rope climbs, that's a new one, 30-second row, 30 seconds Glute Bridges, another new one, 30-second row, 30-second burpees. Gotta hate a burpee. We're going to do that 4 times, with 2 minutes rest in between each, and you're going to get 10 seconds transition time, which I'll need if I've got to try and strap shoes in this time. Okay, 2 more strokes. 1 more. Let's take 1 foot out, put it on the ground, continue rowing with the one that is still strapped in. And do think about still putting in a solid push from that leg that you've got strapped in. The only difference here should be that you've only got 1 leg in. You shouldn't be doing anything else particularly different. Swap feet. Oh, I can't get out. There we go. Oh, now I know what it must be like to put up with me in my socks and I slide in and out of these effortlessly. Maybe you're at home going, I can't get in and out of them that quick. Panic shouldn't set in on a rowing machine. Right, 2 more strokes. Then we're going to put both feet in. Legs nice and straight. If I can get in, come on. And then row with your back and arms. So try and keep those legs straight. Tiny bend is okay, but you don't want to generate any power from your legs here. Now remember, you're just swinging over the hips and then pulling in the arms, and then out with the arms, swing back over your hips. Okay, into the front, arms straight, forward lean, just press out with your legs. Push, try and hold that forward lean. Arms straight, and think about that connection into the front of the machine. As you push with the feet, you want your hands to connect. And we're done. Right, so I'm going to quickly go through what it is, the moves that we're doing today. If you want to carry on doing some light rowing through this while you watch, please do, because that will hopefully help you get nice and warm, even warmer, before we start today's session. Because remember, we're hitting the ground running with 30 seconds of hard and fast rowing, so you need to make sure that you're nicely warmed up for it, okay? So here we go then. The 4 moves we're doing today, we're going to start off with press-ups, which we've done before, and of course you can do these normally. You can do them as you'd probably standard see them, or you can do them on your knees if you wish, or if you really want to, you can hold on to the rail on the rowing machine and use that to give you a little bit of height when you're doing the press-ups, if that makes things easier. But remember, we're not about easy, we're about working out. After that, we're going to do rope climbs, okay? Now this is really just high knees and you're kind of grabbing up and down in order to make it like you are climbing a rope. After that, we're going to do a glute bridge. Now this is you still want to make sure and concentrate on how you're doing this. Make sure I'm putting the effort and squeeze those glutes together, but it's the one which gives you a little bit of rest because it's really, it's not that cardio heavy at all. And then we're going to finish with burpees, which are cardio heavy. So burpees are the one that's going to give you that little bit of a kick right at the end of these sets to then set up the 2 minutes rest and then get you ready into the next set. So remember, we're doing this 4 times. So if you've been doing some light rowing just to make sure you're nice and warm, please stop now and take a quick drink because we are going to start the main session in just a second, okay? So there will be a lovely transition and then you'll see me running back to the machine because I'll just have started the Tabata timer. So make sure that you're good, ready to go, and let's enjoy today's circuit training.
Starting your lunchtime circuits workout. Get ready.
Woohoo! Okay, right, so we have 10 seconds to go. Get yourself all ready to start. And I'll count you down. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Here we go. So fast. 30 seconds rowing. On a high stroke rate. And a good old push from the legs. Keep those arms straight until the back of the stroke. Almost there. One more.
Rest.
Okay, get ready for press-ups. Whew. Here we go.
Exercise.
So just try and keep them smooth. Again, as many as you can, but be controlled. Remember, the downward phase of a press up is just as important as the push. You're not falling into position. This feels like longer than 30 seconds today. Okay.
Rest.
Back onto the rowing machine. Get yourself strapped in. Ready to go. Go.
Exercise.
So nice control. For all of these exercises, control is key to the rowing and the off machine stuff too. Oh, nice one.
Rest.
Okay, so we're going to do the rope climbs. Here we go.
Exercise.
Go. So it's like I'm climbing up a single rope, knees nice and high. I've done it again. My head poking out the top of screen again. Okay, 10 seconds to go. 2, 1.
Rest.
Back on the erg. Feet in. And row. Yeah, that one definitely took its toll from a cardio point of view. Don't feel anywhere near as fresh. That's okay. You'll find this first run through will probably be a little sluggish.
Rest.
Okay, onto the floor for glute bridges. So we get a little bit of a rest.
Exercise.
1. Remember, this one is about getting your hips up and squeezing your glutes together. This one gives you a chance to recover from a cardio point of view. Kind of backs off the high intensity for one session, but because we've got bungees and rope climbers today, that's okay.
Rest.
Right, try and gracefully get back on the machine. Get yourself strapped in. Go.
Exercise.
Last of the rows for this set. Remember, if you're here as someone who's just adding into a normal rowing workout, the rowing intervals are the most important here. So keep your technique fluid. All right.
Rest.
Burpees next.
Exercise.
Oh, my microphone's fallen off my t-shirt. I do hope it's not banging around. You don't have to be good at these, you just have to do them. At least that's my excuse.
Rest.
Ah, there we go. So that's set 1 done, I hope.
Recovery.
Yes, recovery. Let me fix this. Excuse me while I heavy breathe on you. Is that better? Apologies if that was banging around. I wasn't banging around any more than I was. Oh dear, it's been a while since I've had microphone problems, but I can have a wind the cable around my heart rate monitor, and I think all these moves jumping around, it's pulling on it a bit because it's coming down. At least listen, this week I've been sensible enough to wear shoes, you know, if that is causing an issue here, and to tuck in my t-shirt so you don't have to stare at my stomach every time I put my hands in the air. Have a drink. Got just over a minute to go. Now, if you're on a concept 2, quick tip, okay? See, when you're strapped in, assuming that your buckles are on the outside of your feet, when it comes to getting out of your straps, hold the kind of the bottom of the foot plate, put your thumbs on the buckle, and push out with your thumbs while flicking your feet up. And that stretches open the buckle to let you slide your feet out. And then next time you come in, it's nice and high. You can just put your feet back in again. So you don't have to think about fiddling, just thumbs and then flick your toes up. Okay, 25 seconds to go. good way to get in and out. Oh, okay, 15 seconds to go. So get yourself strapped back in. And we're going to go through all of that again. Okay, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's roll.
Exercise.
Nice and fast. Get that connection at the front of the machine. Really try and time it so you're not leaking power with a butt scoot. Just push and connect your hands. And only pull at the back. Okay.
Rest.
Thumbs, flick, and I'm out. See how quick that was? Ready for press ups.
Exercise.
Go. Remember, if you're not comfortable with press ups, you can put your knees on the floor, or you can hold on to the rail of your rowing machine to give yourself a different angle, which may make it easier. One more.
Rest.
Back on, feet in, strap up, and row.
Exercise.
Okay. Remember, if you want to get extra length from the front, don't collapse into the front. Fingers hooked over the handle, shoulders extended. That's how I get close to the front.
Rest.
Okay. Rope climbs next. I'm gonna go for a ladder this time. I'll go sideways.
Exercise.
Okay. Knees up. It's almost like you're scratching claws. You're pulling the rope down towards you. I know. But it's a good workout. Doesn't matter if you look silly.
Rest.
Back on. Straps. And go.
Exercise.
That was an interesting opening noise. I'm definitely a bit more tired today. I'm only at 31 strokes a minute, 146 pace. It's not feeling massively powerful.
Rest.
Come on. On the ground for glute bridges. Here we go.
Exercise.
Now you'll feel, possibly, as you get to the top, that your quads feel a bit tight. At least I feel that. Remember, you can put a weight across you, so you lift that as you're doing the glute bridges, but don't quite have time for that today. Even resting a kettlebell on your stomach will do it.
Rest.
Back up. Strap in. Rope.
Exercise.
Last one of these, and then burpees, and that's us done. The second one. Remember to keep the power, the pace, the technique should all be good for your rows.
Rest.
Feet, come on. Burpees. You ready?
Exercise.
Go. out, in, jump, out, in, jump. It's all about explosion. You're never really meant to be stopped in a burpee. This is why they're nasty. Don't I? Down at the bottom, I keep on pausing. Out of stupidity. Come on, out.
Rest.
Gladly. Need to fix my mat.
Recovery.
2 done. 2 to go. I do hope you're enjoying these circuit HIIT things. They're slightly different. It's kind of, I'm at that point where, in terms of my recovery after COVID, I'm looking for ways to just add to the intensity without it being like a half-hour time trial on the rowing machine. If I can look at different ways to increase the intensity all over, that's a lot better for me. Have a drink. One session I love doing, and it's actually been quite valuable for my recovery, is I do 4-3-2-1. So that's 4 minutes on the bike, 3 minutes on the rowing machine, 2 minutes on the ski erg, and then 1 minute on the punch bag. I do that 4 times. And what I do is I set the rower to undefined rests. And so I go around everything, and then I sit on the rower and I wait for it to get to 9 minutes 50 on the undefined rest before I hit go. And that means that depending on how hard I work, I get more of a rest. Although if I'm lazy, or they were talking about the transitions, because obviously time is time. But the quicker I am about the transitions from piece to piece, because it's quite easy to finish the row and go, oh, I'm tired, and then take like 30 seconds before hitting the ski erg. Whereas if you spring up and then do the ski erg, you can end up with 2 minutes rest before the rower. It's a good way to do it. In fact, that's a sneak peek to how I'm going to be doing the row like swimming video next. So we have 10 seconds to go. Get yourself strapped in for set 3 of our circuits. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Exercise.
Push with those legs. Remember, as much as I say, the stroke isn't about the arms at the front. I want you to still have a nice strong finish at the back. Elbows through your sides. Okay.
Rest.
On the floor for press-ups. Here we go. 2, 1, go.
Exercise.
Now I spoke in the last one about making it easier, but if you want to make this harder, think about pushing your hands together while they're on the mat. So you're squeezing them towards each other, even though they're not moving. And that'll give you added tension.
Rest.
Oh, it's a bit too much for me, to be honest. Yeah. Whew. Back on the machine. Oh no.
Exercise.
Oh, I was a bit late. This 10 seconds is definitely needed if you're in shoes and have to strap in and out. Unlike me in socks. I never realised how good I had it. Oh. Okay.
Rest.
Rope climbs. I'll go sideways again. I'm going to climb a rope this time.
Exercise.
So it's down. Instead of more of a side to side, you're just straight up, straight down. As though you're climbing up a rope. Oh, my knees are not going very high. Lazy John. I don't profess to be good at this stuff. I just do it. Whew.
Rest.
Back on the erg for row 3. And
Exercise.
go. Keep that pace and rate at where you've been holding it. I'm at 32 strokes a minute, 144 pace. So I'm being consistent. Don't worry if you're not as fast or slow as me. Worry about you. Glute bridge.
Exercise.
Remember, this is all about you versus you. Don't worry about what other people are doing. Just try to be fitter, faster, stronger tomorrow than you are today. That's all that matters. Whew. It's a lovely lie down. Last one.
Rest.
Get yourself strapped in for the last row before burpees. Go.
Exercise.
Like I say, and I'll keep saying it, the row is the important part here. That as you get fatigued from the other exercises, that you're still holding strong to your rate and pace and technique.
Rest.
Burpees to finish on this third set. Here we go.
Exercise.
Out and spring. Out. It's not particularly ab heavy week this week, but moves like this will be working your abs without you realizing it. But obviously your quads and cardio are getting
Rest.
the best workout. Okay. 2, 1.
Recovery.
2 minutes recovery. You know, part of me wishes that I could get rid of that last 10-second rest. I suppose I could always just set this to 1 minute 50, but actually I think probably more thankful of a 2 minutes 10 rest than you are. You'd be thankful if I tried to shave off that 10 seconds. Because remember, the point is, you want to be rested enough through these recovery periods that you can hit the next one back up to that high intensity again. So you want to have recovered enough by the end of this 2 minutes and 10 seconds that you feel fresh enough to go straight back up to that rate and pace in your next row. If you don't give yourself enough rest and you can't go high intensity or as high intensity again, that's not quite the point of this kind of a workout. Like, high intensity training should be that roller coaster of effort versus recovery. If you don't give your body enough of a chance to recover and your heart rate and stuff is always up at the same level, it's not really a high intensity, it's certainly not high intensity interval, it's more like a high intensity steady state because you're just powering along at the same. So, but still, regardless, I'm calling this HIIT training. Because more people recognize what HIIT is. And I think this is a HIIT session anyway. I mean, my heart has gone from 145 down to 100, and we've still got 20 seconds left of rest. So I'd say that my body's recovered enough to be able to hit the next set nice and hard, which is lucky because it's coming up in 10 seconds. So you ready for this? In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Exercise.
Get right up to your rate and pace. Don't ease into it. Unless, of course, you have back problems and you need to take 2 or 3 strokes to ease in. I'm at 34 strokes a minute, 141. So I'm hitting this one harder. Says easy.
Rest.
Skips a stroke at the end. Big cheap bag. Okay, press ups.
Exercise.
Go. I'm certainly not gunning for my, can I get more than 21 this week? I just want to be controlled, up, down, like a 1-to-1 ratio. But if you can slow your down so it's twice as long as your up, that's actually really good for you.
Rest.
Oh, I'm glad they're over and done with. Wasn't feeling the press ups today. Back in the straps. And row.
Exercise.
We should be thinking of these row intervals like the last 200 meters of a 2K, where you're just trying to squeeze out the pace.
Rest.
Okay, hang on. Whew. Let's do rope climbs. I'll do a ladder this time.
Exercise.
Go. Nice high knees. Ow. Okay, that was too close to the machine. 10 seconds gone. Oh, it's handy pointing this way. I can see my timer. 10 seconds to go. Get a good extension from your arms. High knees. 3, 2.
Rest.
Who would have thought that would be so tiring? Oops, straps. Go.
Exercise.
If you haven't been doing the thumb loosen and toe lift to get out your straps, I recommend practicing that after this row today for future occasions. One more. Glute bridges.
Exercise.
It's like the calm before the storm, this one. Now this could be hip thrusters, but you need to raise your shoulders and head off the ground so that as you're at the top, your knees and body are at right angles. Glute bridges are just like this on the ground. Less of a range of motion through your knees.
Rest.
Because I don't want to overdo things because of everything else we're doing today. Okay, last row.
Exercise.
Let's sprint home. See if you can get faster than you've been so far. I'm at 1:39. Again, don't worry about me, worry about you. Almost there. One more.
Rest.
Last one. Burpees coming up. I'm gonna start with a jump.
Exercise.
Up. Out. From an overall fitness point of view, today's workout should really have given you the right amount that you may have been looking for. Oh, I'm exhausted.
Rest.
I was lucky I was able to do that last one. Right, what are you going to say?
Recovery.
Okay, so she's got 2 minutes recovery. And then she says, congratulations on a great workout. So, take a moment, have a drink, then we'll get into a cool down. If you don't have time for a cool down, make sure to do some kind of stretching. Possibly not in the shower, I don't want you to slip and fall over, but make sure to stretch your quads, hamstrings, probably your triceps. What else? Shoulders maybe, at the very least, especially if you're about to go and sit down at a desk. Okay, drink. And I will load up my 2-minute cool down from the ErgZone app. Look how quick that was. It's nowhere near the monitor, and that's already in. So we're just going to do this at nice low intensity. 2, 1, go. And she's gonna pipe up a minute into this and say well done. I don't want you to stop. I just want you to carry on rowing. I think I can turn off the recovery interval, but I'm too lazy to, because I've got it set this way all the time, and the moment I start editing it, it'll go wrong. My skill lies in editing TV programs and rowing videos, not in setting timers. So make sure to still put in enough of a connection from your legs to your hands here that you feel your muscles working, but not so much that your heart rate skyrockets. Okay, what are you going to say to me? Tell me stories.
None. Great workout.
Thank you.
You spent 29 minutes, 35 seconds exercising.
Thank you. But I didn't really though, did I? Because I was resting for 8 of those minutes. Well, we were cooling down. So I hope you enjoyed this one. Quite enjoying building up the library. This is the 3rd of the HIIT workouts, or at least the circuit HIIT workouts. So make sure and check out the playlist where you'll see these grouped together as I do more and more. I do like the idea of doing one a week, just to vary the training that I'm doing. Okay, 2 more strokes. 1 more. There we go. That was a nice cool down for me. I feel like my body can like reset itself away from being fast and furious to just being furious. So again, if you don't have time to stretch, please stretch before you're just going to sit back at a desk or whatever, but do be careful where you're choosing to stretch. If you're able to spend another 5 or 6 minutes with me, then Stretchy John has just appeared, hopefully. I will take you through some basic stretching. These are the stretches that I do, starting off with the hamstrings. These are just kind of the core, not core, but like the core, the basic, the range of stretches that I do that I feel help me. However, you don't have my body, luckily. This isn't all of me. There's a 1980s film reference. I watched that recently. I remember absolutely knotting myself when I watched that back in like the 80s, late 80s or whatever. Proper, haha, back in bowl, haha. But watched it like a couple of years ago and it was all like, yeah, okay, that's funny. So it's a shame how, I don't know, maybe it's because I knew everything that was going to come. But then I've watched Ghostbusters, the original Ghostbusters, watched that with the kids, and that was still just as funny. So maybe it's just, I don't know. Steve Martin's still hilarious regardless, so it's fine. Anyway, sorry, where are we? Crikey. Yeah, so hamstrings, quads, hip flexors, glutes, shoulders, triceps, biceps, forearms, and back. They're kind of like the core things that I kind of go through to stretch to try and get my body okay. But you might want to do something else. You might have like a yoga thing in mind, that you have to do like supine twists or something in order to get your back loosened up and things. Do what you need to do in order to make sure that your body is in a nice, happy, supple state after today's workout. What I don't recommend is just wandering off into the distance, sitting down at a desk, and then everything seizes and you're like, I can't move. I certainly get that. I've got a bit of tennis elbow right now, and when I'm rowing it goes, but then I go back to my desk, and because I'm just at a computer kind of mouse and keyboard the whole time as I'm editing, because it's just being in that position, I find that after about half an hour, my elbow's in agony because it's not moving, it kind of seizes in that position. So I wish this tennis elbow would go away, to be honest, because it's kind of holding me back from a whole bunch of things. So, but injury does that, and so you have to take it easy. If you've hurt anything, if you've pulled a muscle, if you've tweaked something, if something's just not right, then take it easy, okay? If you find the things that aggravate it, don't do them. If you can find things, if you can find ways to exercise that doesn't aggravate an injury, carry on doing them at a level that you can carry on doing before it starts to aggravate it, which is why like the rowing, ski, bike and boxing, fortunately for me, for my tennis elbow is fine. But what I can't do is, I can't do bicep curls, or at least I can't do reverse bicep curls. They're just, oh. But yeah, I can do normal bicep curls, but I can't do. Anyway, this has suddenly turned out into me. One of the first things I was told when I started making these videos was, don't make it about you. Always make it about like you, the viewer. So I should always kind of say, how are you today? And not talk about me. But that wears, they see like 300 plus videos in over, what is this, 4 years I've been doing this for? Or 2 years properly, maybe 1 year-ish before that. But I end up running out of ways to kind of talk about you, so this is why I end up just talking about me. This is why I'm doing things like the row-like series, like row-like squash I've just done, which is basically it's a rowing workout that emulates the intensity of what it's like to play a squash match. So you kind of do 4 hard strokes, 2 easy strokes, which is like running into the front of the court, taking your stroke, and then a couple of paces recovery, and then back into it again. So I'm doing that, and I'm going to do more. Like I said, I'm going to do swimming at one point. So I've done that series. I've done the rowing for non-rowers series, which is trying to introduce people who really just don't care about being any better at rowing. They just want to use it as part of a cardio workout when they're at the gym, and maybe they don't know what to do. So I've kind of made videos from them as well. And I'm going to try and kind of do these rather than just always just going through a plan and going through a plan over and over again. I'm going to try and make these little series as well I can while I'm recovering from illness and things myself, and like injury of that. I will eventually, just to let you know, my eventual plan once I've been through all of these is that I am going to row, this is narcissistic, I'm going to row my own 2K plan. So the 2K Redux plan that I have up here, I'm going to row that plan almost like a director's commentary, okay? So I'm going to have it up on my iPad, and I'm going to be rowing along with me, which is there's something just rather strange about that. That would be an 80s movie. So I'm going to be rowing along, and then basically I'm going to let him still do the talking, or other me do all the talking, but then I'm going to still talk over him at times. So I can basically just do the plan almost like you, where I'm not having to wait, I'm not having to lose breath by talking to you. I'm going to let him do it as like an overlay. It'll work, trust me. We'll do it once. You can let me know whether it works or not. But that's what I have in store once I've made a few of these series of rows, because I need to basically get back into my 2K training once I have fully recovered. So that's my plan, is that I'm just going to go into my own 2K plan. And that way I can just, I can see the kind of the nastiness that you folks have all been going through. It's only fair. Anyway, right, I'm kind of figured that he's round about done, so I'm going to say goodbye if that's okay. It's a Friday, so I'm going to go off, get myself a tiny little sandwich or something for lunch ahead of this evening, which is, of course, Friday night spag bol. So I'm really looking forward to that. It's the end of the week. It's nice to celebrate with a big plate of spaghetti bolognese, like I have done for over 20 years now, that Julie and I have had spaghetti bolognese on a Friday night. So, and I figure we've only really missed about 100 of them. So if you do the maths there, that's a lot of spaghetti bolognese. So anyway, keeping the Durham, no, it's not Durham. Is it Durham wheat that they make pasta from? I know it's semolina flour that they make it in Italy. But answers on the postcard. Anyway, are you still here? Have you not gone? Right, thank you so much for watching this one. I do hope you enjoyed it. Please check out some of the other, whether it's the other lunchtime rows, whether it's the other circuit training, or whether it's any of my other workouts, then please do make sure and check them out. They're all entirely free. There will never be a point where you have to put your hands in your pocket and pay for one of my workouts. So obviously, if you want to buy a t-shirt or something, you have to pay for that, I'm afraid. But yeah, anyway, you can go to RowAlong.com and you can find out all the training plans and this. But I'm not going to tell you to hit like or subscribe. That's totally up to you. You can comment if you wish. I'd love to know how you like this. And if you do comment, please leave me the hashtag all of me. Okay, because we talked about that film. So hashtag all of me. ALLOFME, not olive as in olive oil. All of me. Okay, that lets you know you got this far through the video, in which case you deserve a prize, to be honest. So if you can make it around to my house in time for 7 o'clock, I'll give you some spaghetti. Okay. That's 7 o'clock tonight, the 4th of March, 2022 UK time, just in case you kind of turn up on like Monday night and say, I'm a bit late, but anyway, right. This has gone on too long. Please look after yourselves. I will see you in another video. Bye-bye.